Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for a Rndr FET and injective price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with Rndr here on the daily, where we have of course an ABC finished, of course wave A. We're looking for a correction here. In a wave B, this correction is represented as three waves for wave A or W, a triangle for wave B or an X, and we're looking of course to finish up here in a wave Y or a wave B there. That it can be also a wave 2 in a different scenario, where in case that you have double 1 2 here, but very low possibility for double 1 2 because this wave 2 is very long in time, giving higher possibility of course for wave B. And that means of course we're still looking here for something of course corrective, and still might be not finished for Rndr until we take of course the 0.618 FIP time, taken of course from the W to the X to the wave Y here. And because of course we need a kind of like a balance after this correction in triangle here, we need of course a wave Y. Now normally even the price can take of course so much time here until the 1-to-1 FIP time perfection in September, until we start to push for higher. In two different scenarios, of course, we have the Y or the wave C. The wave Y might be a zigzag here for the 0.618 FIP time and then pushing for higher. Or we are looking here for an ending diagonal, 5 waves for wave C here, as an A, B, and a C, of course, in an ending diagonal to reach the FIP time perfectly, and then pushing toward the upside again. Of course, that is also a scenario for wave C, that it might be very aggressive, of course, as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But this can be, of course, very aggressive, and of course, it aims to take the wick there for Rndr. However, in both case scenario, we are looking there for potentially for an impulse here to finish, of course, an ABC zigzag, or even a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in diagonal. If we dive inside it to see what we are unfolding there, on the 2 hours chart here, for the 2 hours chart, we are looking, of course, still for a potential impulse there. However, this impulse is unfolding something very deep after it before finishing, of course, the wave 5. In case this is your wave 4 for an impulse 1, 2, 3, wave 4, ABC expanding flat, while we have already passed the fib levels required for a wave C in an expanding flat, it should have, of course, started a wave 5 towards the upside, but this is definitely not the case here. We are looking for something much more deeper, very likely to be even, of course, finished here and topped as the 3 waves. In that case, of course, we have to count a 1, 2, and then, of course, another 1, 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5 towards the downside, of course, to finish up the wave Y as we saw in the daily there, right? And reaching the 1-to-1 fib level at $1. Currently, on the 1 hour chart internally, of course, if we have here a kind of like an ABC for a wave Y, or a 1, 2, which I doubt it a little bit. I mean, you have to count it there for several 1, 2s, and wave 3 there, and wave 4 and a 5, and wave 5 finished there, and then another 4 and a 5. Yeah. So basically, all of it can be a 1, 2, right? All of it can be a wave 1 here, unless, of course, we still dive deeper in an extension here, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning a double 1, 2 here, and then of course pushing for wave 3 there, and then 4 and a 5 to finish up, of course, this wave Y. So very likely also scenario here where we start to see some aggressivity starting to unfold as a wave 3 potentially, so we gotta be careful with it. Might be, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then of course 4 and a 5 because you have 1, 2 there. Okay. Taking the low, and by taking the low, of course, we claim here something finished as a potential zigzag, as an A, of course. Here's this A, and then wave B there, and you're looking for wave C in 5 waves towards the downside, to finish, of course, the wave Y. So we'll see, of course, what's going to happen. Currently, of course, on the 15-minute chart, I still see, of course, some weaknesses as well for Rndr. Nothing yet, of course, is bullish here. Definitely, it is very corrective. So we're dropping, of course, towards the downside still. Wave 4 is very unlikely to be happening. It's very deep already. It has passed the 0.5 fib level. And yeah, so the next target, of course, can be, in case we're still in a wave 4 here, is a 0.618, which is very, very rare. And of course, it's a red flag, definitely. Yeah, so we gotta be careful. So lower prices are still expected for Rndr over there. For FET also on the daily, we have also the three waves towards the downside here, W or wave A, triangle followed as a wave B or an X, and we're looking for a balance here to finish up, of course, a wave C or a wave Y. The wave Y still potentially need also the 0.618 FIP time, while the wave C can wait until the 1-to-1 FIP time perfection in a balanced correction here as a W and then X and a wave Y. Of course, can be diagonal for the wave C, while the wave Y can be a zigzag there. So currently, this push toward the downside that we see after the wave B can be represented in three waves, down, three waves up, and you might have three waves down for wave Y. Or it can be, of course, a diagonal for the wave C over there, reaching the time, much more important than the price, by the way. Currently, we are fighting with time, with the altcoins here, much more than deeper prices. And of course, it's going to melt down so very slowly and taking time, of course, until we start the push toward the upside. So basically, right now, I'm looking also on the 2 hours, 1 hour chart. We can see also this drop is unfolding as a 1-2 here. You have several 1-2 and then wave 3, 4, and a 5 still unfolding, of course, downward, and very likely, of course, unfolding as a wave 5 diagonal, ending diagonal. And I'm still even expecting several 4-5 as well to continue towards the 1-to-1 fib level, at least $0.13 for FET. It might be, of course, very massive again, and yeah, very likely to take the wick even. So yeah, we'll see, of course, for FET. So further lower prices are expected, and anyways, these lows has to be taken, of course. 886 is there taken, and also 886 there. So yeah, we are expecting, of course, at least the uncommon target 0.18, but because we have several 1-2s there, and this is only one wave 5, so I'm expecting even for 5 downward. Yep, so this is regarding FET. For injective also, if we take a look at the daily here, we have something as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 or wave A. We have a W, X, and a Y still unfolding. Now, very likely with injective that it can be a wave Y in triangle, since we are fighting with time here. Very likely as an A, B, and a C, and then D and an E here, and then pushing for higher. However, this, of course, push towards the downside is not yet done, because also it can be something else like a wave C here. In an ending diagonal, again, the same scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to reach downward. Now, also injective is very likely as well that we are in an impulse double 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5, of course, to reach, of course, this wick. And then, of course, start to looking after something toward the upside after reaching the FIP time required here for at least, of course, a balanced WX and a Y. On the 1 hour chart as well for injective here, we are looking also at the following scenarios where we have also 1-2, 1-2, wave 3, 4, and a 5 to finish wave 3. Another wave 4 here and a wave 5 unfolding still, of course, as something as impulse right now, because I cannot call a diagonal anymore. So this has transformed to an impulse 1-2 and then 3, 4, and a 5, very likely to dive deeper there for injective. Yeah, so wave 5 sorry, I would say is not finished yet. I think here it is as an impulse unfolding as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yep, so these are the updates as well. I'm still looking for injective for lower. Potential target is $3.25, and in case, of course, it wants to dive deeper and extend, it can reach the common target $2.76. Yep, that was it for Rndr, FET, and injective. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.